Welcome back from an ad break. We will continue with our grade 12 business studies lesson under the topic human resources. We are focusing specifically on induction and placement. We've already covered induction. Now we will continue with placement. Right, what is the meaning of placement? You've been inducted, you signed the contract, so now you need to be placed. As a new employee, you need to be placed. So what is the meaning of placement? It says here, selected candidates are placed where they will function optimally and add value to the business. We don't want a person that will not add any value. Otherwise, it's a waste of money. It's costly if you're not going to add any value. So what do we do as the business? We need to ensure that those selected ones are placed where they will function optimally. So we need to look at your skills. Basically, we look at your abilities and we say, okay, this one will function better in this department. So that is basically the meaning of placement. Right, a specific job is assigned to the selected candidate. Remember, we're interviewing you and you were a candidate. So now we are placing you. After placing you, you are no longer a candidate, but you are an employee. So a specific job is assigned to the selected candidate, but we now need to look at your skills, your abilities, where you will function optimally, because that's what we want, so that you can be productive. And you know, if productivity is high, and then so is the sales. Right, so the qualifications, the skills and personality of the selected candidate should be matched with the requirements of the job. Now, this will take us back to what? It takes us back to our job specifications and job description. So we need to match that with the requirements of the job. What is it that the job requires from you? So you need to ensure that you are placed where you will add value to the business. All right, so what is the whole procedure of doing that? So when we are placing you, what do we do? The employer should outline specific expectations of the employee's new position. Who does that? It's the employer who would outline what is it that we are expecting, specific expectations of the employees. That candidate that signed the contract is now called the new employer, the employee rather. So as an employer, that needs to be outlined. Secondly, the employer should determine the similarities between the expectations of the position and the competencies of the employee. Do they match? So we're looking, remember who does the placement? The employer does the placement. So we are looking at now the similarities. Do they link? Is there anything similar between the employee's competencies, the skills, the qualifications, the abilities with what? With the expectations of the position. Remember in the previous bullet, or the first bullet, we said the employer is going to outline these expectations. So from these expectations, these are the expectations, we now need to find the link. Is there a link between the expectations that we've outlined, the needs of the business, as with the competencies of the employee? All right, lastly, we need to determine the employee's strength and weaknesses by subjecting him to various psychometric tests. So we might want to make the person write a test so that we can see the strengths and the weaknesses, because remember, we've got our expectations, our specific expectations that we've outlined. So how best can we get that information? Through maybe writing these psychometric tests. Hope you understand. Now we move on to the last part of the in this topic. We're looking at the importance of skills development. Why must we develop the skills of the employees? What happens? Remember, I'm not talking about Skills Development Act as a legislation, but I'm saying the importance of skills development. Why is it important to develop the skills of our employees? Right, the first one says the employee who receives the necessary training is more able to perform in their job. Do you understand? So because you've got more skill, and not just more skill, it has been improved, it has been developed. So if you have been developed, then you are able to perform in your job. So if you are able to perform, it means more sales basically for us. The investment in training that a company makes shows employees that they are valued. So, I mean, as a new employee, if we take you for training, it says a lot about you to say we value you as an employee, and that is why we want to develop you. Very important. Right, we're looking at the third one. An effective training program allows employees to strengthen their skills. So their skills have been strengthened. Why? Through the whole training program. So it can be good, it can also be bad, because now if their skills have been developed, obviously they are performing better in their job, in as much as they might want to go and work somewhere else, maybe greener pastures, but still it is good for us because it strengthened their skills. And when their skills have been strengthened, and then it means they are able to perform better and faster in whatever that they're doing in the workplace. Right, I hope you understand. Now we're going to move on to the last one. It says productivity usually increases, I just mentioned that, when the human resource functions implement training courses. Right, why does productivity increases? Remember, because you have been trained. So if you have been trained, you are now able to do better and faster. There's what we call, I don't know, mathematically it's wrong to say 1 + 1 = 3, but that is synergy, basically, because you now know better, you now know more, you have the quickest way of coming up with a solution or of doing a certain project. So productivity usually increases due to that. Right, we've come to the end of the lesson. I hope you've understood this topic because it's one of the best topics in the subject. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope you've thoroughly enjoyed, but not only enjoyed, but you've also learned so much. Right, from me, Miss Maboya, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.